today's video, we're gonna go over the 8 essential liqueurs you need to start your home bar. Let's get to shaking and stirring. We're gonna start things off with orange liqueur. This might be the quintessential workhorse liqueur in your home bar. It's called for in a wide variety of classic cocktails, and it complements pretty much any base spirit, making it a true reliable staple in your home bar. Although some of the higher end stuff can be had on the rocks, it's a key component in classic cocktails like a Mai Tai, a Cosmo, a Sidecar, and the Margarita. Triple Sec is a sweet, orange-flavored liqueur whose base is almost always neutral grain spirit. It provides a bright, sweet, relatively one-dimensional orange flavor profile. Triple Sec is your best bet when you don't want to break the bank, and it can be bought for as little as $10 for a 750, although there are some higher-end Triple Secs. In addition to Triple Sec, some higher-end orange liqueurs include Grand Marnier and Cointreau. Cointreau also uses neutral grain spirit as its base, although at 40% alcohol, it's more complex and natural tasting than most Triple Sec products. Rather than a sort of one-note sweet orange profile, Cointreau has a little bitterness to it, with a very clean, natural tasting flavor profile. Grand Marnier is the granddaddy of the brandy or cognac-based orange liqueurs. The beautiful, round flavor you get when you combine the vanilla caramel notes of brandy with orange is a pretty special flavor combination. This is probably the most complex variety of orange liqueur, and it can be sipped by itself for a sweet treat. It's excellent around the holidays. Also, when used in lieu of some of these other products, the brandy base in Grand Marnier provides some depth and complexity to your cocktails. As you can see, when it comes to orange liqueurs, there's a wide variety to choose from, so get to mixing. The next liqueur we think you should have on hand is Campari. The appeal of Campari, besides its beautiful Ferrari red color, is that it adds this intense, orangey, bitter character to your cocktails. Trying to describe many liqueurs is difficult because there's so many complex flavors working together to achieve the end result. In this way, Campari is no different. If you look for it, you can find notes like cherry, cinnamon, orange peel, and cinchona bark in Campari. But really, you have to try Campari to understand its magic. To experience Campari, try it first in a Negroni, with equal parts Campari, gin, and sweet vermouth. Or you can try it in a classic patio drink from Italy called the Campari and soda. You can probably imagine what goes into a Campari and soda. It's Campari and club soda. It's really easy to pull off at home, and it really showcases the flavor profile of Campari. But it's not a shy liqueur, and its intense bitterness can be a little divisive, and it elbows out other ingredients in cocktails. Feel free to check out some recipes linked in our website down below. A name that almost always comes up after Campari is its little Italian cousin, Aperol. Aperol is slightly sweeter tasting and less bitter than Campari, and it's got notes of cinchona bark and gentian root. Also, when compared with Campari, Aperol has a lower ABV, and it's less aggressive, meaning it plays better with other ingredients. To master Aperol and get your head around its flavor profile in a cocktail, start off with a paper plane or an Aperol spritz. This is a great way to explore a liqueur whose popularity is soaring right now. In any case, we think there's a spot on your bar for both Campari and Aperol, but if you had to go with just one, I think I'd go with Campari. It's called for in a wider variety of classic cocktails, and it's truly a staple liqueur. Changing it up to a sweeter, more floral liqueur, we have Elderflower Liqueur. The most widely recognized brand of Elderflower Liqueur is Saint Germain, although there are other brands that are very good as well. Elderflower Liqueur gives an elegant, floral, borderline perfumey note to cocktails. It even adds notes of passion fruit and pear, and there's really not even a trace of bitterness to it. A little goes a long way, but it's perfect when you're looking for that little floral note in a cocktail. For all you brunchers out there, Elderflower Liqueur is great in champagne, but it also goes great in a cucumber martini or a French gimlet. Elderflower Liqueur has been called bartender's ketchup because it plays nicely with a wide variety of other ingredients, and putting it into a cocktail makes it almost universally appealing. Like, well, ketchup. It's a staple modifier, and it can take humdrum cocktails up a notch. Next up, we have Maraschino Liqueur. This is a liqueur made from wild cherries. Although it doesn't taste like a cherry liqueur, it's got this kind of marzipan bitter note that you might get from cherry pit or almond. This is a relatively dry liqueur compared to some of these others, meaning it's not quite as sweet. It's also, like Campari, pretty difficult to describe. You really have to taste this one to get your head around it. It adds a really unique but recognizable complexity to a wide variety of cocktails, including the Martinez, the Aviation, and one of my personal favorite cocktails, the Hemingway Daiquiri. Changing gears a little bit from some of these multi-flavored, super complex liqueurs, let's go with coffee liqueur. Coffee liqueurs are having a moment right now. You got the espresso martini popping off, and you got some awesome variations like the espresso martini. People are loving coffee cocktails right now. Coffee liqueurs are a great way to add the coffee flavor profile to cocktails with added sweetness, added roundness, and tamp down acidity as opposed to just adding coffee straight to your drink. The most widely recognized coffee liqueur is probably Kahlua, which has strong coffee notes, but also like some caramel and vanilla going on too. There are some new players that we really like on the market as well, like Mr. Black from Australia or Jumping Goat from New Zealand. These offer both the flavor and aroma of coffee, as well as some cacao and vanilla notes with a strong, smooth, boozy finish. These can be enjoyed neat or in cocktails, like a really cool twist on a margarita called a Margarita Negra or a Cafe Rojo. The next liqueur we think should be a staple behind your bar is Falernum, and that's how you pronounce it. Falernum. With the tiki craze still in full swing, we thought we'd add Falernum as a staple, as a nod to our tiki lovers. Falernum is a complex, exotic liqueur, and it packs in flavors like ginger, clove, lime, and almond. These are all flavors that are staples in Caribbean cuisine, as well as in tropical drinks and tiki cocktails. There's a pretty wide variety of Falernums on the market, and each one of them emphasizes or focuses on a different flavor profile rather than others. We recommend giving them all a try and figuring out which flavor profile suits you best. Falernum shines in cocktails like a spiced Mai Tai, a Saturn, a Zombie, or a Chartreuse Swizzle. I'm a big tiki fan, so maybe I'm biased, but I can assure you that these cocktails will be big hits at your next get-together. The last liqueur we think is essential behind your home bar is a real investment. Green Chartreuse is an expensive bottle, but as you can see by how much we have left, we really love green Chartreuse. Talk about liqueurs being hard to describe. This stuff is made by monks in France using a very old, tightly guarded secret recipe that's thought to include over 130 ingredients. This makes it extremely unique and very, very complex. This is a liqueur you truly have to taste to understand. The flavor is borderline medicinal, but in the best possible way. There's some lime and some citrus, but mostly it's intensely herbal. It's a natural pairing with gin, which is also very botanical, but it truly goes with a very wide variety of other ingredients and base spirits because there are so many different ingredients to choose from when matching and complementing other flavors. I personally love green Chartreuse, whether I'm sipping it neat after dinner or mixing it up in a cocktail. To experience Chartreuse in a cocktail, try the Lucky Day off our website with pineapple gum syrup, lime juice, gin, and basil. It's truly a delicious little drink that showcases Chartreuse and all of its wonderful glory. Thank you all for checking out our video on 8 essential liqueurs to have behind your home bar. We chose these 8 because you can use them in hundreds of cocktails, both classic cocktails and novel ones alike. So did we miss any? Are there obvious glaring omissions? What are some cocktails that you think should have been on the list that weren't? What are some of your favorite drinks we mentioned? Mention them down below in the comment section. Make sure you like and subscribe for other great content. Thanks.